Hey, what's up, my legion? I'm here to do a movie review. Ever since I got that Roku, I've been checking out a bunch of movies on Netflix, and there's a bunch of documentaries that I haven't heard of and stuff like that. I've been checking out about all interesting subjects that I like. And one is I remember on FearNet about a year and a half ago, I saw like a little 3-minute segment about some movie about guys doing like backyard haunted house stuff for Halloween. And I really wanted to see it, the documentary. I thought it was a good idea of documentary. Then I forgot what the hell the movie was called. I found out what it was called now. It's called The American Scream. I just saw it on Netflix, and it was awesome. What the movie's about is they call these guys like home haunters, and these guys just go to elaborate lengths, investing a lot of time and sometimes a lot of money. You know, it's a give and take. To perform, like, have elaborate displays and elaborate haunted houses in their backyards just for Halloween. And this takes place like 30 days before Halloween starts. And it's like 3 groups of people. The first one's a real perfectionist, but he has a very understanding family. A wife and 3 kids. The other guy is the guy that is not a perfectionist, and he has the same zombie shirt that I have right there. The same shirt. And then the other group is like father and son who do who try to do elaborate stuff too. They consider themselves amateurs, and they're also clowns professionally and stuff. And it involves all the time and work and sometimes money they really devote to it, and how understanding sometimes their families are. Like this, like the real perfectionist guy with the wife and 3 kids. Oh, they're running out of room in their house. There's so many Halloween props. Every day is Halloween because when he was growing up, he was in a very oppressive religious sect with his mother and stuff. They weren't allowed to have birthdays. They weren't allowed to have Christmas. They weren't allowed to have Halloween. They weren't allowed to trick or treat or anything. They weren't allowed to watch Saturday morning cartoons. That'd be hell of a childhood. And now he's making up for that by doing really elaborate Halloween stuff. And then they even show him going to a convention for Halloween haunts in Monroeville, PA. Now, if you remember, the Monroeville Mall is the mall that they shot the original 1978 George Romero movie, Dawn of the Dead. Well, anyways, this leads up to Halloween. And, it's just one day of the year whenever people could do the professional haunted houses, like the Haunted House of Shock, where they filmed where Jim Van Beaver, and also Phil Anselmo from Pantera was in the band at the time. They helped them make a great video called Holocaust de la Morte, Through the Eyes of the Dead. Well, Holocaust of the Dead, and then the video was called Through the Eyes of the Dead. It's a really good video, too. Well, anyways, it just shows them leading up to Halloween, and then the sadness when Halloween's over with. But the one perfectionist guy said there had been at least 1,000 people going through his house. Through his haunted house thing. It's a really entertaining movie. Anyone who likes Halloween, and I remember Super Lady Shiva was mentioning, when I did some stuff around Halloween time, I showed off some stuff, and I showed off, the only real elaborate thing we have in where I live is where Kennedy's Hardware is at, and then there's the post office on the other side. There's the one guy that puts out somewhat of an elaborate Halloween thing every year. He did like a thing with zombies last year. Well, not last year, back in 2012. In 2013, I had this in my Halloween video. He did like elaborate sound stage. It had the band Poison. They're all skeletons playing instruments and stuff like that. It was pretty neat. And that's like the most elaborate Halloween, the guy who does the most elaborate stuff, at least around where I live, And I remember during that Cranesville community sale, I think he was selling like some giant thing for the Hunger Games or something like that. Kind of neat. Well, anyways, I highly recommend The American Scream. I'm going to be watching some other stuff. I watched some other documentaries I'm not going to make reviews of, but I'll mention them here. I did one called Lipstick and Dynamite about the old ladies of professional wrestling. And it talks about like girls like Moolah and Mae Young. And also like someone named Killam Gillum. And the one thing about Killam Gillum is she went through a whole career. She never won a match. And a lot of these were older women who were in the 50s, wrestled in the 50s and 60s, and helped liberate the women's movement so that the female wrestlers could wrestle in some of these places like Chicago and stuff like that. And also they talked about this one female wrestler's first impression of Mae Young. But Mae Young was a tough. These guys are tough broads. Mae Young was growing up. When she was doing her thing, she was in like men's pants, smoking a cigar, and then when she went up to this one lady, she said, "Hi, fuckface." That just shows you how tough these women are. But Tim Sands made a really cool thumbnail for the review. I'm not going to do a review of it, but I'm going to show you the thumbnail at the end of this video. I also did reviews of Glow, the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. They talked about their show, and that show was on for like 4 years ago, abruptly canceled. I remember watching it on Through the Rabbit Ears on a VH1 channel. When it was VH1? I think it was VHF channel. Yeah, because remember that Weird Al Yankovic movie called VHF. VHF channel. That's where Fox used to be before going mainstream. And also, one of the movies I saw, The Best Worst Movie, which was like about the movie Troll 2, and about the guy who starred in it, and all the cast members and people actually love this movie now. That was a really terrible movie. I don't think it's any other ones. I saw Antics Roadshow, not Antiques. Antics showed about all these people behaving badly around Britain and stuff, like overseas and stuff. That was interesting too. But the main focus of the movie, as I'm doing right now, is the movie American Scream. I highly recommend it. I hope you all check it out. It's a lot of fun. Now I'm going to leave this video with a look at the thumbnail that Tim sent me for Lipstick and Dynamite. It was Lipstick and Dynamite, Piss and Vinegar, the first ladies of professional wrestling. So until next time, take care, my legions.